Hi Region 20, I am Miss Eskew and I am here to make a video for you on all the ways you can use plaster. I'm going to do a few examples. There's so much more you can do with plaster. You can wrap anything. You can literally take a twig outside and decide to make a tree by taking a big branch that you find, put it in a piece of concrete or pour it in a plaster. So take a bucket, pour some plaster in the bucket, stick the branch inside, then you can wrap the tree branches with yarn or plaster or whatever you want to do. I'm going to attach with my video, I'm going to send some links where you can find other lessons on how to create a costume with trash bags or anything. Duct tape's useful in all sorts of artistic ways. And normally when we get to be in person, I love to have hands-on lessons for the Creativity Institute, but you know, with COVID, we're keeping it safe, and so I'm going to make you a video, but it feels a little strange not having you in my room, but that's okay. So here we go. We're going to do some different ways of using plaster. We're going to make a mask, we're going to make some maracas, and we're going to make hand positions. So you can literally make some plaster hands and then position them. You can have it speak and sign language in your set design. So maybe you want to say, I don't know, I love you. You create that in your sign language, position the hand, have it as part of your set, any way you want. DI is all about you finding new and creative ways to use materials. So I'm just using plaster. There's a ton of ideas, and you can always contact me if you want some ideas. Reach out to the region. I am your t-shirt coordinator and your dime store. I'm in charge of the dime store or whatever. Okay, here we go. So light bulb, another light bulb. Okay, so because now we all use these long-lasting light bulbs, I don't always have burnt out light bulbs, but I bought some light bulbs. Okay, so these are plaster strips. You can buy them on Amazon. You can get a whole box like this for like 50 bucks and it'll last you forever. So you take the strip, you take a tub of water and you dip it in. You want to keep it flat, so don't let it fold in on itself. And then you're going to wrap whatever you're working on. So I'm just wrapping the bulb. You want to get it wrapped at least 3 times. Otherwise, and it is messy. I recommend doing this outside. So hold on. Okay. So getting it wet. Making sure you cover all of the bulb really well. Smooth it on, okay? I'm just gonna fold a big piece in half. It's easier than tearing it. And I'm gonna wrap it really well. I'm gonna make sure and cover the bottom too. And I think it feels kind of thin up here. So I'm probably gonna put another small amount at the top. Okay. So I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. Okay. Okay. Once this dries, all I'm going to do is bang it and it's going to shatter the light bulb inside, and I've made a maraca. And then I can paint it with acrylic paint. I would recommend acrylic. You can use tempera, but you'll need to seal it because it flakes. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to show you a mask. So I start with a mold, and you can get a mold for not very much, or you can basically lay it on a face. Just be sure you put like some saran wrap or something to protect the skin before you do that. So I'm going to take, now you've got to decide if you have a mold, if you want to do like a half mask and have it stop at the nose, or if you want to do the full mask. Remember, I recommend that you double up your strips for thickness. You need at least 3 layers. Lauren, could you get me scissors, please? So then I'm going to take, thank you. I'm going to cut because this plaster is getting in my computer. So normally I just tear it. Okay, so I'm wetting it, and I'm going to start at the bottom. Now, you can either have it hang over on the edges like this and use that, thank you, and use that for the design, which I'll show you some in a minute that I did that. Or if you don't want that, you can tuck it up on the sides. Don't ever tuck it under the mold, or then you can't pop the mold out. So I'm folding it up. You can make it a little more smooth, however you want to do that. Okay, let me get some more. Okay. I'm going to do my next layer. Be sure you're smoothing it down. If you're in a hurry, you can even spray paint them solid colors, because the spray paint has its own sealant in it and it stays. You can use Mod Podge to seal it. I'm sorry, to seal it, not steal it. You can also use spray paint sealant. There's all different kinds of Mod Podge. There's some that are glow in the dark. There's a mask on my wall here that my son did years ago with glow in the dark, and every time I walk out at night, it's glowing in here. It's kind of weird. It's that one. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is make sure my 2 sides are sealed. So along here, I want to make sure all my edges are covered. I'm going to double it over and just make sure it's sealed really well. You want to make sure all your edges are sealed. The number one thing I've always found with my art kids is they'll miss their edges, and then it's weak when they try to paint it or whatever. So right now I've just done a double layer because I folded it over. So I recommend 1 more layer covering the face. I'm going to lift it up and show you so you can see, okay, how all the edges are sealed. And I can smooth this more. You just use water. It'll harden pretty quickly, and you'll be able to pop it off. Use acrylic paint, spray paint, like I said, glitter. You can even do this with paper mache. You could take pieces of paper mache, the tissue paper, and lay it on top, different colors of tissue paper. So this is an example of how you can do a mask. I'm going to do 1 more with you guys because my video is probably getting pretty long. So the last one I'm going to show you is if I take just a latex glove, which during COVID we probably have billions of these, and I put a little fluff inside up in the fingers. And then I'm going to take the strips, and these I'm going to cut so I can fit in between the fingers. But this is how, remember I told you, you can pose it and you create sign language as part of your set design, part of your challenge or your solution. So I'm just going to wrap it around. And remember, it'll harden. And I want to do this twice, so I'm going to make sure it's nice and thick. And I want to seal it on this side. Now again, like I said, it's always better to do this if you can outside because it's messy. One year, I had all my 5th graders use latex balloons and create giant balloon heads. I think it took years before my chairs were blue again. So the plaster gets everywhere. So anyways, but this gives you an idea, some different ideas for plaster and uses, and I will attach other things. And like I said, you can take a latex balloon, blow it up, and wrap the head with, and have different faces in your set design. That would be really cool, like little faces looking out of windows that were 3-dimensional, made out of plaster strips and a regular birthday balloon. That would be really cool. But you can see how I wrap it. I'm going to pause it and finish wrapping it, and then I'll show you. Okay, with my dirty fingers. Right there. Hi, so I'm back. You can see I've got the hand going. See, isn't that kind of fun? So, and let me see if the maracas. Yeah, it's pretty dry. So you can see it's actually still hot. So you just bang it all up and you can make your maraca. And it makes your maraca. Or there it goes. There you go, maraca. Okay. So, and there's one more thing I want to kind of show you in my dirty room, but there's my mask. Can you see those different kinds of examples of masks? Okay, well, thanks for joining me, Region 20. You have a great challenge this year. Good luck, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye.